Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Packers going up against the Jaguars. With that, I get to say hello for the first time to our new commentators this year, as I'm privileged to welcome in Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now the former Jet running back. This is Chris Ivory. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 40. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. That's a prime example of how tough Chris Ivory can be to bring down.
He's so good that I think that he would last very well in a boxing gym. You know, because he's going to wear you down with those types of runs all game long. And if they can't start getting him on the ground quicker and more efficiently, they've got a long game in front of them.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a first carry here for Robinson. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
From midfield, here's Bortles. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down. And here's a look at the starting offense. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Play clock winding down. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. And tough starting field position here. First carry of the year for the trimmed down Eddie Lacy. No gain on the play there, second down. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Back near the goal line, here's Rodgers. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that's going to make it third down and 10. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacy. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, the one concern I had about Eddie Lacy coming out of Alabama was weight. And it became a concern for Green Bay in 2015.
Yeah, he was up over 260 pounds. Disappointing 2015. Looks a lot better, doesn't it?
A lot better, and when he's lean, oh boy, is he a heck of a runner.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Taken right around the 44. Penalty marker is down here. Bortles now on first down. Over the middle. It's incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. And it'll be 2nd and 10. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Julius Peppers, some would call him the grand old man. He'd hate that. He just want to be a seasoned veteran who continues to make plays at a Pro Bowl level.
They come out here in the eye. Bortles going to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Now Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
A really nice read by the offense. They caught the defense not covering the middle of the field, went to the post route, and found the receiver wide open for a nice gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. To throw, it's Bortles. It's caught right side, it turns. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Throwing now is Bortles. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. 2nd down now after the incompletion. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. surveying the field. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Taking on the midfield logo. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On 1st down, this is Ivory. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
Okay, I don't want to bring money into it, but I'm going to. You know what your best contract negotiations are?
Good years.
Production. Chris Ivory, his first 1,000-yard season in New York, parlayed it into a nice deal with Jacksonville, and they expect the same results.
Yeah, nice 5-year deal indeed. Back to the ground on 1st down. Again, Ivory looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. The play clock's running down. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love it.
Here's Bortles to throw. And that's complete to Lewis. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out here in the eye. On the ground, Ivory. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Ivory, his first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Tough spot for the offense, 3rd and 8. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it, but was not it. Bounds incomplete. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Another pistol look here. They give it to Ivory. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. They set up the screen to Ivory. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
3rd down now following the completed pass. Time running out here on the play clock. Snap comes at 1, and it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They run it again with Lacey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Packers a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Rodgers. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time. And it paid off on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now Rodgers will handle Lacey. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. You think back at Alabama, he was there, Ingram was there, Richardson all at the same time. Boy, they produced some backs, haven't they?
They do. They are run heavy, and backs are attracted to that. They know they're going to carry the football often, and they'll get plenty of help from those big people up front.
They'll run it with Lacey. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Abbrederis from a yard out. And the Packers are back within a score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, the spin. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Following the penalty, it's Ivory fighting through, and he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From midfield, here's Bortles. Completes it to Lee. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move to James.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Brief break in the action here. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here we go. Right, 58,
They'll give it up to Ivory. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. He finds Hearns left side. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. The pitch comes to Ivory. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing is Bortles. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes his down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And the wideout in motion.
39.
They'll try to run with Ivory. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Chris Ivory, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. It's a gain of 14 there. And the Packers are going to have a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. A dump off to Lacy. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Fresh set of downs here. Rodgers now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Greg Hardy in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. He's going to air one out. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and it is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And there's a flag on the field. Bortles now on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's good enough for a Jacksonville first. Red zone opportunity. Into the red zone. It's Bortles. It's caught right side. It's Hearns. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for second down. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On third and long, it's Bortles. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Julius Thomas, 26 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all. And our score remains the same. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And there's a flag on the play. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Rodgers. In middle of the field, he's got Nelson. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Rodgers with a give. It's Lacy. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. Here we go with 2nd and 7. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Rodgers to throw on second down. The left side throw complete to Adams. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Rodgers to throw once more. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Bortles now on first down. They set up the screen to Ivory. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Play clock winding down. They run the counter to Ivory. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From midfield, here's Bortles. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. And a busy afternoon continues for Ivory. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the play clock's running down. On second down, here's Bortles. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run with Ivory. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Packers get set to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Rodgers going to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Rodgers now to throw. He hits Abradaris. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Abradaris, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for two. Rodgers will throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, this is Denard Robinson. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Touchdown, Jaguars. Allen Robinson, 65 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 48 yards. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Rodgers now on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Everett with it over the middle. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And a scary incompletion. Almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The young buck, Jalen Ramsey, getting in there to knock it away.
And he's so versatile. You know, everybody looks at him and says, what position can he play? And you feel like you can move him on each and every down to another position. I think the best thing, let him settle in at one. Then you start moving around. It looks like he's already starting to settle in pretty well in the NFL. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And Crosby puts it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
Here's Robinson. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They come out here in the eye. They start on the ground with Ivory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you'll only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Now a 20th carry in the game here for Chris Ivory. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. This is Ivory. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
On second down, Ivory. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Here's Bortles to throw. Robinson's got it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Rodgers going to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, 81 yards. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
Penalty marker is down here. And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. So the D-line's going to spread out. Ivory. And an alley to run. Look at the spin. Chris Ivory off to the races. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
It would be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him a couple yards. He's out of bounds right around the 23. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He hits Abradaris. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll give the Packers a first down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
And incomplete on the deep ball. So pass interference on the defense. Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Abradaris with it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues. Defense showing blitz. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordy Nelson from 6 yards away. And the Packers get a score closer.
Well, this is really simple. Let's just say it. This quarterback is on fire. Touchdown after touchdown throwing the football. What a day for him.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a toss. This is Ivory. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey. You got 3. There we go now. Green, 90.
Bortles going to throw here. Caught out left side by Robinson. Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. A big play there, Bortles to Robinson. 41 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal.
Green, 39. Green, 39. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I got it.
And a Week 1 victory always feels good. Starting the season off on the right foot, very important.
And what does every coach preach? Being 1-0 each weekend, especially on opening weekend.
So for the Jaguars, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.